Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video on my channel here. Now in today's video, guys, I'm going to be bringing you my May Player of the Month player predictions. I'm going to be bringing you guys just my predictions on who is going to be a part of the May Player of the Month program releasing tomorrow in MLB The Show 21. It is going to be a full program and there's going to be a lot of players released, and I'm going to go over my predictions on who I think is going to be a part of it. And guys, without further ado, let's just go ahead. Let's move straight into this video. All right, guys, so here we go. This is going to be my first prediction, and it's going to be MARQUEZ SEMIEN. I believe he is going to be the lightning card out of this program. And in the month, he had a 340 batting average, 6 home runs, 16 RBIs, 9 doubles, and a 1025 OPS. Now, what I tried to base these cards on as well is, did they get former cards in the past? Now, there are some of these cards here, like, for example, Tyler O'Neill and Max Muncy. Tyler O'Neill has an 85 overall Future Stars card, and then Max Muncy already has not only a Diamond card, but also a Team Affinity card. But those guys just did so well in the month that I was like, you know what, let me just go and add them into my predictions. But MARQUEZ SEMIEN had a really good month of May, and I think that he would be perfect for the Lightning program, as he has not gotten the new card yet this year. So he's my prediction here for the Lightning player. It's going to be the big player. Will probably be a 96 or a 97 overall player. So that's my prediction here. MARQUEZ SEMIEN is going to be the Lightning player. But now, guys, we're going to move on to the second player. All right, guys, so the second player here is going to be Jesse Winker, who actually just hit 3 home runs yesterday as well for the Reds. But he right now in the month of May, he hit 340. He had a 346 batting average, 11 home runs, 20 RBIs, and a 1111 OPS. This guy has been absolutely mashing just overall for the entire year. I think he definitely deserves this card because he has been one of the best players on the Cincinnati Reds, along with Nick Castellanos. Now, the biggest problem with this card, the biggest hurdle, is that he's not great against lefties and he's not great defensively. So they could definitely improve on that. They could maybe add a little bit more power and contact versus lefties, as well as a little bit more for the defensive stats. But I think he'll definitely be one of the higher diamonds in this program. And that's pretty much all I got to say. But now, guys, we're going to move on to the third player. All right, guys, so the third player here is going to be Austin Meadows. Now, in the month, he did bat 300. He did have a 300 batting average, 7 home runs, 31 RBIs, 10 doubles, and a 1011 OPS. This guy, once again, has been just absolutely destroying the cover off of the baseball. Been definitely one of the biggest parts of the Rays season so far, as they are one of the top teams in the MLB. He's been hitting really, really well, and I think that this will be a well-liked card as well because he's got good power, and I think they could definitely improve on his contact stats as well as his defensive stats, as he's been decent there this year. Well, in terms of contact, I don't really know defensively, but definitely the contact can get increased, as he did bat 300, and then he deserves a little bit of a boost in the power, in the power. But now, guys, we're gonna move on to the fourth player. All right, guys, so the fourth player here is going to be a left fielder for the Cardinals. It's going to be Tyler O'Neill. Now, he did have a 324 batting average, 8 home runs, 18 RBIs, 6 doubles, and a 1112 OPS. Now, this is going to be a very light card because he is great defensively, got 89 fielding, and he also has 96 speed. So they can definitely increase his contact stats and his power stats a little bit. But this is definitely going to be a very well received card in the entire program. One of the most used cards. It'll kind of be like the Shohei Ohtani from the April Player of the Month program. So definitely watch out if this card gets dropped and he's like a 90 overall diamond. He could be pinch hitting for a lot of people and maybe even pinch running. He's just that good and he's that fast. But now, guys, we're going to move on to the fifth player. All right, guys, so the fifth player here is going to be Max Muncy. Now, in the month, he did bat 320. He had a 325 batting average, 8 home runs, 16 RBIs, 4 doubles, and a 1103 OPS. Now, I've heard some rumors that he could be the Lightning card, but I think that MARQUEZ SEMIEN more deserves that role because he hasn't gotten a new card yet this year, while Muncy already not only has a Diamond card, but he also has an NL West Team Affinity card from Season 1. So I think that it will be better if Muncy is one of the higher overall diamonds, probably a 92 or a 93, And honestly, this guy will be another card that's going to be used a lot because he can play second and third as well as first base. And he has very, very good power, and power is valued so much in the game. And he's been a glitchy player for a few years now in Diamond Dynasty. So if this card drops, expect him to also be playing in starting lineups and even off the bench for some people if they have really, really good teams. But now, guys, we are going to be moving on to the fifth and final player that I have in positions. All right, guys, so the last player I have listed as a position player is going to be Eric Haas. Now, he did have a 265 batting average, 7 home runs, 11 RBIs, 3 doubles, and a 971 OPS. Now, obviously, those are not stats that are going to blow you away, but I think they'll give him a card because he's a 59 overall common card, and he's been on a tear recently. And I think that he definitely will get a gold card or one of the lower overall cards. But this could be a decent card because he'll probably have decent power, decent contact. So he could be a solid gold card for people to use if you're just getting started in Diamond Dynasty. This could be your starting catcher along with Yerman Mercedes. But now, guys, we're going to be moving on to the first pitcher. All right, guys, so the first pitcher we're going to go over is going to be Kevin Gausman. Now, in 38.2 innings pitched, he had 53 strikeouts, a .47 ERA, and a .61 whip. I mean, he was just absolutely locked down. Definitely one of the biggest reasons behind the Giants' surprise season. They have been atop the NL West for a lot of the season. They have surprised so many people, and Kevin Gausman is one of the reasons for that. Now, he could also be in the running for the Lightning card with Max Muncy and MARQUEZ SEMIEN, but I think he'll be one of those high diamonds again. I possibly could see Max Muncy getting the highest overall normal card, not the Lightning card. And then you have Kevin Gausman getting the second highest card. I think that he could be used as well pretty frequently because he does have a splitter. He has a slider as well. And he's just been overall really locked down. Like, this could be a decent pitcher for you guys to use. And you're going to get him for free. So, why not give him a try? But now, guys, we're going to be moving on to our first relief pitcher. All right, guys, so the first relief pitcher we're going to go over here is going to be Craig Kimbrell. Now, in 11.2 innings pitched, he had 20 strikeouts, a .82 ERA, and a .64 whip. Definitely one of the biggest reasons behind the Cubs being atop the NL Central right now. He's had a pretty good overall year, and he really shined in the month of May, being their, go-to guy in the bullpen if they need to close the game out. He's been very, very good, and I think he'll get a, mid-tier diamond card, like a low 90s, maybe a high 80s card, kind of like Matt Barnes did in the last program in April. But I think he's definitely going to be getting a card right here for the program. But now, guys, we're going to be moving on to the final player I predict is going to be getting a card in the May Player of the Month program. All right, guys, so the last card I predict is going to be getting the card in the May Player of the Month program is going to be German Marquez. Now, he hasn't had a great year overall this year, but in the month of May, he actually wasn't terrible. So he had, in 38.2 innings pitched, he had 41 strikeouts, a 1.89 ERA, and a 1.05 whip. Obviously, those are not stats they're going to blow you out of the water. Nothing like Kevin Gausman, but this is still good. I mean, he still could be a decent card. Now, he did have a team affinity card as well in 88, so he could be getting like a 90 overall, something like that. This is probably the most far-fetched option here, but I was looking at starting pitchers, and I thought that, German Marquez could be perfect for this role, and I think he will, and I think, he's one of the long shots to get a card, in my opinion, out of these predictions, but I think there's definitely a high chance he could. Now, there's a lot of other pitchers, but they're in the high tier. You have Jacob deGrom had a really good month. You had Max Scherzer, who had a really good month. There's a lot of guys, but I think that out of the lower tier of guys, German Marquez definitely stood out to me. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it pretty much for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to smash the like button and help support me. And anyway, guys, take care, but most importantly, stay classy.